Welcome everyone to today's webinar, Producing Your First Online Course. I'm Mike Whitesides, Director of Marketing, and wanted to thank those of you who are tuning in. So this webinar will be recorded, and you'll see a chat box, and you can put questions in the chat, or there may be a Q&A box in your setting, and we will try to answer questions as we go along. So I want to introduce a couple of our guests here today. First off is Brian Renard. He's the instructional designer for USU Extension. I'll let him say hello.
Hello, everybody. I'm Brian Renard. I've been here for about 4 months. Before that, I worked at the Academy of Art University out of San Francisco, building online art courses for about 9 years, which were very multimedia heavy. So it's kind of my specialty is getting multimedia heavy courses online and creating videos. So it's nice to meet you, and I look forward to working for you.
So Brian is fantastic. He's excited. He got a lot of enthusiasm for instructional design and has done a great job creating courses and updating existing ones. He's really speedy and has a great eye for design and illustration and animation, all those great things. So he's a great asset to our team, and we hope you'll utilize his resources. So I'm going to now introduce Marta Nielsen, and she's joining us remotely. Hey, Marta.
Hello, everyone. I'm excited to talk with you all again today. I'd love to see who's here, so maybe give us a hello in the chat box. I see Carrie is here and Amanda. Thanks for saying hi. It was really fun getting to see so many of you in person last week at the regional meetings, and I look forward to working with all of you in the next year as we really roll out some of these online courses.
Thanks, Marta. And Marta, as you know, does a lot of our Facebook Lives every week. She does the Live Well Utah e-newsletter and is a fantastic asset to our team and is really helping us to springboard the live online courses as we move forward. And we've got a whole team behind this project, and we're really looking forward to moving it our way. So we're going to begin today by talking about, why online courses, and this next slide answers that. So a couple of reasons why online courses are important. And I actually had a conversation with some folks at dinner last night about extension and e-learning and live courses. And we really live in kind of an on-demand society. And someone was talking about, going back to school, it was really for her to find childcare, find parking, all those things. But now she can get the kids in bed and then go to class on her laptop in the evening. So people are just digesting information in new ways and want information on demand. And so they're not always able to attend live classes. So this is an opportunity for us to share our expertise with new audiences beyond those who live within our county, but really, to a global audience as we broadcast and share our courses online. There really is no limit to the amount of people and the amount of reach we can have. As I mentioned, this on-demand education, and there's revenue sharing opportunities for faculty. Right now, there's a 50% revenue split for online courses, which benefits you and your budgets, and is a great opportunity for you to earn money literally while you sleep. Also a great opportunity to build Extension's e-learning portfolio. The more classes we have, it's going to make our organization shine. And we're also looking at opportunities when we do have a large portfolio of shorter classes. It may be something that we sell like a membership to, so people could log in and take advantage of all of our course offerings. And then, of course, maximizing your time. You teach the course once, and then your course lives on through the power of technology, which is pretty awesome. So let's talk quickly about benefits to you as faculty. New audiences with content. You can build courses with with content you already have created. PowerPoint redesign you can use for the future, and I'll show you some examples of that. So we take kind of your existing materials, some of those hot topics that you teach live, and we're able to redesign those PowerPoints for you to use for your live classes, but also for these on-demand classes. We do a lot of the course production for you. Once that PowerPoint is designed, we just need you to act as voice and kind of teach that. And then again, another revenue generating opportunity. And of course you have raging fans. So people begin to know you and recognize you. And it's a great way to get the word out. So here's just a couple of examples of redesign that we've done. Marta and Olivia have worked on this, and it's been great. So you can see in this example here, these designs weren't bad. Sheridan did a great job on this container gardening PowerPoint. However, I'm not a graphic designer, and most of us aren't. And so you can see just when we turn those creative juices over to our graphic designers, they make things that are pretty amazing. So another example is this home canning class. Again, not a bad design, but you can see, with the magic of Olivia and Marta really coming up with a style and a design for that class that was appropriate. And then this TED Talks one, which is a class that we haven't released yet. And it is also another great design and has kind of a style of its own. So again, these are things that, you give us your old PowerPoint presentation, we can take the time and work together with you to design something that's a little more aesthetically pleasing. And then that PowerPoint becomes yours to use, for future presentations, or take that template and use it for other teaching opportunities that you have. So let's talk about our vision for 2019. And if you were at the regional meetings, this came up a little bit, but Ken has challenged our administrative team to come up with and roll out 30 to 40 new online extension courses in 2019. And so that's really, almost 3 to 4 per month, which is totally doable and isn't something that we're stressed out about yet. However, we do need your help because you are the content experts. And so really it's an opportunity for you to really, we challenged all the faculty at these county meetings to create at least one course in 2019. And you're not alone on this. The marketing team and instructional design team have your back. And we're going to outline kind of that plan and how we hope to achieve this goal of 30 to 40 new courses. So these could be standalone courses. These could be course bundles. If you wanted to do a series, for example, the Tech Talk that Tasha's doing, it's actually a series of 4 one-hour classes, and people could sign up for 1 or 2 or all 4. Or these can be standalone one-off courses. We're looking at e-learning subscriptions, as I mentioned, kind of a membership for folks. And we have the ability to leverage Facebook Live and our e-newsletters to promote these new courses. And then that drives registration for when we release these live. But then there's also an opportunity to remarket the courses when they're finished. So we can send those out and get even more eyeballs and more people watching those. So I want to talk about a few of the online course types. There is, of course, pre-recorded. So if you're not comfortable going live, you can pre-record your course. And we're actually going to be rolling out something different than we talked about at regional meetings, but it's a hybrid between a live and an online course. So moving forward, what we would like to do is, instead of producing the entire course live like we've done in the past, we're actually going to pre-record the instruction portion of the course. And so what will happen is you as the instructor will come on, welcome everyone. They'll get to see your face and who you are. And then at that point, we'll press the play button and roll out the first portion of your presentation, which will be pre-recorded, but will appear as if it is live. And then at the end of that first section, if there's questions in the chat box, you can come on and answer those. And then we'll roll out, module 2, or the second part of the course. And so there's still that benefit of people being able to interact with a live instructor, However, there's not the pressure and the stress of making sure you know what you're saying and stumbling over your words, or technical difficulties, because the instruction portion will be pre-recorded. And what this does is it accelerates and enables us to get it up on Canvas catalog quicker because it is already produced. And it's going to be not just a talking or narrated PowerPoint, but it will be engaging with animation, and Brian will show you some of his great work here. But it's kind of a hybrid. So you could do the hybrid approach. You could do this pre-recorded only. So maybe never you get on live, or you could do the whole thing live. We really have a lot of options. Then other things that we haven't really pursued, but our options are this automated course. So when your course goes into Canvas catalog, it'll just be automated, and there won't be anything we'll need from you. And then if you do ever want to do an instructor-led course, you could do a course where you come in and maybe students have assignments, or maybe you meet live, every week or so. So there's really lots of opportunities for that. I'm going to answer a few questions. Caitlin asked if there's a list of current classes somewhere, and there is. We'll show you that link, or maybe Marta could put it in the chat for us. Dallin asked, where most instructors are already charging some fee when they present these courses in person. Yes, so Dallin, most of these live courses, they were charging a fee. Generally, they cover supplies. However, it's kind of up to the instructor to decide if they want to charge or not. We'll move right along. So here's the answer to Caitlin's question. Here's the list of the course catalog, and I'm going to turn it over to Brian now because we've got some exciting changes coming your way.
Hi, everyone. Part of our revamp of this new year is updating our course catalog, where currently as it sits, it's kind of a big pile of courses, and it's hard for the user to focus and find what they're looking for efficiently. And we've also had some issues with charging on the back end, and some of the boring stuff that you really want to think about. But we've been upgrading to a new catalog, and it looks something like this. And as you can see, when the user steps in, it's knocked down to just 8 categories so far, and users can start diving in and working from there. And it's just a lot friendlier, visually simple, and kind of an intuitive experience for the user. We have some courses online right now that are kind of using this new method that you can go and check out with the promo code freebie. And we get the link up for those in the chat box too, I'm sure. But these courses are all basically just 1.5-hour live lectures, sort of like this. But then they have the enhanced PowerPoint slides throughout to make them better. And then I've gone through and we've added chapters in Kaltura so the user can see a list of all the topics within the 1.5 hours, so they're not just drowning in one big block of 1.5 hour content. So that's one of the nice things we're doing right at the beginning with, is just kind of chunking the content, making it more useful for our users. You want to pick it up at boring online classes, Mike?
Take it away.
So historically, class has been kind of boring. They're kind of, usually it's been folks just trying to take a textbook and put it on a backlit screen, which, is just, because we're all learning not the right things to do. Or definitely have a heavy emphasis on video, especially me personally. I think it's a great way to put the instructor's personality into the course, and not just have it be, text and static images that anybody could get, at a library or on Wikipedia. A lot of the nature of these courses and the way we want to record you and make them so visually interesting is to make them interesting for the student. And your personality actually helps digest the content, so everybody wins.
We have an example of a boring course.
Here's an example of a boring course. I did not make this. But yes, charts, graphs, basically talking PowerPoints. We're trying to avoid all that and move on to the next thing. Yeah. So yes, this year, heading to this, amazing online courses. That's what we do. Why do anything else, right? And so we are putting all these steps in the making courses more engaging that we've been speaking about. Do you have anything to add to this besides better visual design, narrated videos?
Show your sample.
Yeah, so let me show you a sample of a home buyer education course that I've been working on. And this is sped up. This whole clip is typically 6 minutes long, but just making it pleasing to look at, something that folks actually want to watch, just upping the production value. And so our users are getting their money's worth. So they feel totally okay with paying whatever it is for the course and making it rewatchable and just a better experience for our users.
Thanks, Brian. So as you can see, Brian does a fantastic job, and he can take really any type of our content and find stock footage or, animate the slides and, make graphs and charts look pretty. So we appreciate the work you do, Brian. It's awesome. So I'm going to turn a little bit of time over to Marta now, and she's going to walk us through kind of this process moving forward.
Okay, and I was trying to direct people to the link with our existing 3 courses, and I couldn't find the right one. So I'm hoping you, Mike and Brian, can pop that link into the chat box. So this is kind of the outline that we have come up with on the marketing side as we've tried to think about how to make these online courses more valuable live, because what Brian has done with our existing courses has just been amazing. And we wanted to find a way we could offer that value-added content, a more dynamic experience versus a static PowerPoint slide to our live audience. So with the pre-recorded audio that you'll be able to do on your own time, in your pajamas, whatever you want to do, Brian will work his magic and create that dynamic video along with the audio from you. On your scheduled live date, you'll welcome your live viewers. Like Mike said, you'll push play and show the video that Brian has created with your content, audio content. And then when it's over, you'll be able to come back on, and you'll be wearing the same clothes. It won't be confusing for anyone because that part will be live, just like the live welcome. And you'll be able to ask questions and engage with people live, which that really is one of the big benefits of having a live course, is people have that opportunity for live engagement with you as an instructor, just like they would have in an in-person class. And then you can continue to show your live or your pre-recorded modules with questions in between. And at that point, your live video would end, and Brian would be able to then put that pre-recorded content up on Canvas for people to watch at a later time. I see some live questions. Will I have to wear the same clothing on the video as I do in the live portions? So here's what we've figured out to kind of work around that. The pre-recorded sections will just be audio. There won't be any video of you, of your face. It will be the visual presentation like Brian showed, that sped up version with you teaching and speaking, so the audio. So the only video that your live viewers will see will be you doing the welcome and the Q&A. Ryan says, do courses have to be 1 to 1.5 hours, or can they be short courses such as 20 minutes? I'm going to let Mike answer that question later. That's a really good question. And let's see. So it's good luck if you wear the same clothes for your pre-recorded and your live, but not required. I'm guessing Mike put that in. So this is kind of, like I said, what we worked out to try and give our live audience the benefits of a highly produced course with the fancy video editing and something really visually engaging, but also those benefits of a live course where they can engage with you and ask you live questions. So here's the fun part, because I'm here in my house, I don't get to click through the PowerPoint. So Mike, will you please advance to the next slide for me? Perfect. So these are the 10 steps that we need you as agents to do. So some of you have already done step 1, which is to submit your idea. We asked you to do this at your regional meetings to give us some ideas of an online course you could teach. The next step you would do is meet with the online course team. That's Mike, Brian, myself, Julene, Kirk, Aubrey. Am I missing anyone? Almost the entire marketing team. We are here to help you and to make your courses successful. Your next step would be to meet with Julene. If you've worked with her before, she is an amazing writer and editor, and our hope is that you'll work with her and kind of do some mind mapping to really think of a clear outline for this course. We know you probably have existing content, but how can we best present that content to a live audience, especially as we think about modules, as I mentioned before. So if your course is split up into sections so that when you're teaching live, you pause between sections for those live Q&A portions. So kind of working with Julie to come up with the best outline for your live course, and also to work on things like a really engaging title for your course and a course description. The next step would be to submit your PowerPoint. We were thinking we'll just house everything within Box, so you can add your file to Box. Then your next step would be to approve the updated PowerPoint. So that's not just the graphic design part, but making sure the content has transferred over the way that you envision it and it looks how you want. The next thing will be you'll receive a headset. So this is for you to be able to record the audio for the video that Brian will be creating. And you'll also record a 10-second promo video. And this is just something we can use in email marketing and on social media for people to be able to learn a little bit about the course and get an idea of what it's about. We did this with Sheridan Hansen and Helen Muntz for their succulent course. And that video is on our Facebook page if you want to check that out. And your next step would be to pre-record your course. So you'll have your updated PowerPoint, you'll sit down, put your headset on, and essentially teach. And if you make a mistake, you can stop and say it over again, because those things can be edited out. So it's very low key, no pressure, unlike a live scenario. Hoping to make this as easy as possible for you. The next step will be to work with me, and we'll rehearse the live aspect of it. So you're welcome and pausing for questions. Make sure the videos all work seamlessly and that everything works well. And we'll also work on the script. I guess that would happen before we rehearse, of what you can say in your introduction and things like that, and how to engage your audience live, what kinds of questions you can ask them to get them to talk with you through the chat box. And I see a million questions coming in. Let me just finish in this slide and we'll address some of those. And your last step, host your live course. So like we mentioned before, you'll do your live welcome, you'll push play on the modules, answer questions. It should go an hour and a half, and then you're done. Okay, so will you please advance to the next slide, and let's look at some questions. How long should the pre-recorded section be? So most of the online courses that we've done, and I say most, there have been 3. So, we're kind of blazing the trail here and really doing something new that we've never done before. So my recommendation would be an hour of content, just like you'd have in a live. Most live classes are about an hour, and then about 30 minutes for the welcome and the question and answer. But I think there definitely could be some flexibility on that. Another question, what does the research say for the optimum course length? I'll have to get back to you on that. That is not something I can answer. Oh, and Mike is answering questions for me. Courses should be a minimum of 40 minutes with questions about an hour. Okay, well, Mike's word is the final word, so do what he says. All right, so I wanted to give you kind of an overview of what the marketing team will be doing to support you. So we tried to pare it down as much as we could in the slide I just showed you with your 10 steps that we need you to do. This is the grand view of everything that will happen to make these courses successful. And I won't go into detail on every single step, but you've got a great team of people behind you helping you to create the most visually pleasing content and to market it to your target audience and just make sure that it's a very successful course. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so I mentioned that the second step after you've submitted your idea is to have a meeting with the marketing team for your online course. And this is kind of what I envisioned we would talk about in that meeting. I kind of wanted to give you an idea of that. So we'll just be defining the really basic aspects of your course. What is the title? What is the topic? Who is your target audience? I know Mike has talked about this at different meetings with county agents in the past, thinking about your avatar or your ideal client. We can talk about that because it might be a little different for your specific course. So we'll talk through those ideas, and that will help you as you think about content, and it will help us as a marketing team as we try and market your course and do targeted ads and things like that. We'll talk about the course cost, the visual identity. I think it's really great for us to get feedback from you on what you want this course to look like. Olivia is amazing and comes up with amazing designs, but we would love to have your input on that and what you would like it to look like. And then we'll talk about the date. Hopefully, as you've submitted your ideas, you've given us an idea of about the time of year that you'd like to teach your course, but this is where we'll really nail down, this is the date where we're going to go live, and that will determine all of the other deadlines that we have. So any questions on this kind of process and what we need you as agents to do and what we as a marketing team will do for you? If you'll just leave your questions in the chat box as we move on, I'll type answers to those as we go.
All right. Well, thank you, Marta. So in terms of getting started, basically all we need from you is, again, we're not really seeking for anyone to create anything new or putting pressure on you to come up with a great new course, but we do know that there are courses that many of you teach that are very popular. Be thinking of the courses where people say, oh, darn, I missed that. When are you teaching that again? And those are the types of courses that have great market demand that we're looking for to really roll out to our Utah audience, but also, beyond. We're also looking for a lot of gardening courses right now. March is about that time when people are looking to brush up on their gardening skills. They're getting spring fever, and they're interested in learning about gardening courses before they start planting. So shout out to anyone who does gardening courses. We'd love to work with you. And then again, that first step is really the PowerPoint redesign and evaluating those learning objectives. So I'm going to just refer back to a couple of questions about the length of the course. So in the feedback that we've gotten from folks that have taken our courses so far, they really feel like anything less than an hour isn't worth paying for. And so as we look at, things that are maybe 20 minutes, that may be better suited as just a free webinar or as a YouTube video. And those are services we can help you with as well. But we really feel like the quality and the content of the course really needs to be something that people would be willing to pay for, and that it's kind of a step above what you would get inside of something that was just free. So, something that has some pro tips or, some great content that you're not going to find anywhere else but from, a USU Extension expert. And so we feel like the end product needs to be right around that hour. So whether that means, it's 40 minutes of content, but with questions, it ends up being an hour, or it's an hour of instruction with, questions afterwards. And if we're in a situation where there aren't a lot of questions coming in, we'll need to be thinking of questions that are common questions that we could roll into the course to reach that 60-minute mark. So we really feel like being able to market it, if all of our courses are at least an hour, then we can, advertise that we've got several 1-hour courses. But if some are less than an hour, then I really feel like we can advertise it as the full hour. So we need to do our best to fill that 60 minutes. Some things that some of our agents have done, our first class was actually taught with a team with Helen Munns and Sheridan Hansen, and that was great. It was really engaging because they kind of played off each other during the presentation, and then there was a really cool demonstration at the end. So we can do things beyond just talking PowerPoint. If you wanted to go do a pruning demonstration, we could get video of you doing that demonstration, out in the field. Or if we wanted to broadcast or show, materials from a barn or from a sewing room or a maker space. Those are all possibilities. And so we've set up a website to answer, a lot of the questions, as well as just outline what the expectations are and how we can work together. But really, this is just kind of a landing page with a form to fill out, to get in contact with us so we can sit down and talk about what's going to be the best scenario for you. Because there really is no one size fits all and what's going to work best, because based on, your comfort level and presenting and personality and content, all of that, we really want to create a product that you're very proud of and that we can produce together. So looking forward to working with many of you. So if you clicked on this link, extension.usu.edu/e-learning, and click on that live online course interest form, it's going to take you to this form where we just need very basic information. So your name, email, county, the title of your most popular course, and then, as Marta mentioned, when you traditionally teach that, and who the audience is, so we can tailor all that information together. And then from there, we would set up a meeting and just brainstorm some ideas and go from there. So it's been really great working with the faculty so far on producing these live online courses. The marketing team has had a really fun time marketing these courses. So we push them out through Facebook ads, through our e-newsletters, through our websites, and a variety of platforms. And so our goal is to really drum up a lot of business. And I just wanted to talk about kind of why we broadcast them live. And there's really some psychology behind that. I think we've all watched a sporting event that's been pre-recorded, and then you watch it later, and there just isn't that same enthusiasm and excitement that there is in watching something live. Even though it's a live event taking place somewhere else, being able to participate live, we feel like adds a lot of value. The other value add is people are able to ask questions. So we broadcast through Zoom, through this same webinar feature that you're watching today. So people can raise their hand, type in the chat box, type in Q&As, and then as an instructor, I can see those questions and answer them for you. The other thing I wanted to touch on is people who register for the course live. If they're not able to make it live, we send them the information and the link and the login to access all these courses on Canvas Catalog. So once we produce your course live, within a short time, it's in our online course catalog. And anyone who attends live has access to that course for at least a year. And then the other great thing is, with that Canvas platform, we can add any other supplementary material. So if you have handouts, planting guides, YouTube videos you want to send people to, other types of things, we can embed all that in Canvas Catalog. And when they log in, it'll be an amazing course experience for them. So there's just tons of possibilities, and it's just a really exciting new possibility and new opportunity for our extension faculty to reach more people and to make your voice heard. So looks like there are some questions, and it looks like the questions have been answered along the way. So Carrie wants to know, who drives the process, project management, etc. So we do have a project manager, Aubrey Thomas, and she's the one who really coordinates the calendars and working with you as faculty and all of that to make sure that we stay on target. So question about, how many people have attended the courses we've already had and worried about charging $25. It's a good question. So right now our courses are remarketed at $24. And the reason we chose $24 is it's less than 25, so it doesn't sound quite as much as 25, but it also enables us when we're doing our e-newsletters and online digital marketing that we can provide promo codes. So if it's a gardening course, we would say, if you're a garden member, we're going to take $10 off and give them a promo code. And generally on all the other stuff we run, we do like $5 off is what we've done in the past. And so people like to feel like they're getting a deal. There's a perceived value. And so far people have signed up. I don't have the exact numbers. I know the first gardening course we did was very popular. I want to say there were around 20 or so attendees in that. And that's just a great opportunity to broadcast it live. But now that it's been presented, we have that opportunity to remarket and for people to sign up on demand. And so initially it's probably going to be around that $24 mark. However, as we look at perhaps selling memberships, or maybe we sell all of our gardening classes for $99 and you get access to all of them for the year, or it's $30 for 3 courses, whatever it might be. It allows us to bundle and to provide a greater value. So maybe individual courses cost more, but when they're bundled, there's incredible savings there. What else? Carrie wants to know if he offers some CE credit for vets. The typical rate is $50, and you can set a different price. Yeah, so today we're kind of really just focusing on these live 1-hour courses, but the e-learning capacities of our team don't stop there. So if you're looking at doing continuing education credits for our organization, let's talk about that and make sure that we're creating something and pricing something that is, market value. So we also do, other courses with Department of Ag right now. We've contracted with them to do all the pesticide education. So we're rolling out, 17 category courses, and those are at varying prices as well. And so be thinking about, other things as you apply for grants. There may be possibilities and opportunities to write in an e-learning component. We're working with 4-H on some volunteer courses. And so we work with Food Sense on theirs. We do the home buyer education, food manager safety course, which I think is around $80. And so, we don't need to just grow this with the courses that you teach kind of on a regular basis, but let's be thinking about, maybe you want to create a garden certification program or a canning certification or the, master canner or whatever. Those are things that we could talk about, producing a series of those and putting them online. And once you take all of them, you can get some sort of certificate. There's also a lot of possibilities with the types of courses and activities we can put in. So you saw the narrated PowerPoint, there's video footage. We can do learning activities like drag and drop, matching, those types of things. We can put in test questions or questions in the middle that are checkpoints to make sure people are paying attention. And all of this is tracked with Canvas, so you can pull out great analytics. And as I think it was mentioned earlier in the chat here, someone talked about being able to measure and do some evaluation on people that have attended. And those are also possibilities. After every course, people are sent to a screen once they log off that has a short evaluation about the course. Do they feel like it was worth the value? What was their favorite part? Are there things they're going to try and implement? Would they like to attend more courses? those types of things. And people that have attended our courses and had a good experience, it's an opportunity for us to remarket to them and say, thanks for coming to this first gardening course, but we've got more in the pipeline, and here's a promo code to come to the next one. So those are all possibilities. So the split right now is 50-50. And yeah, it comes back in the form of operating, not extra service compensation. And how it works is the portion that's split actually goes back to your department head or regional director, and then you work out with them how that money is given to you and in what form and what account and all of that. So there's a question about the 60-day time limit. I think Brian's typing an answer, but from my understanding is that's no longer an issue in Canvas, and we roll from year to year now. And so the contract we have with Canvas is we pay for support based on attendees per year. And so we would let folks stay in for a year or possibly longer to have access to the courses we have created. So I'm just looking through here, making sure I haven't missed any questions. But yeah, I mean, kind of the take-home message from today is please fill out the form and feel free to contact me directly, or if you want to just send me your PowerPoint as well, we can begin taking a look at that. And there's just huge opportunity. We've got great talent on our team, and we're ready to take on some new projects. So we'd love your help in achieving Ken's goal of 30 to 40 new online courses, and we'll need to work together to make that happen. But I'm excited about really Extension and Utah Extension taking the initiative on this, because I feel like it's going to be a model for other states as we move things forward. I don't know if there's any other questions. I did want to say, put a plug in for Facebook Live. So Marta produces a Facebook Live every week, and we're thinking about how we can implement Facebook Live into being a promotional opportunity for these live online courses. So let's say perhaps you have a course scheduled for a Friday, and maybe we go on Facebook Live on Monday and do a little interview with you and just say, hey, tell us about what you do, what you love to teach, and then tell us about this course that's coming up. And you could give, a little sneak peek to that, and we could encourage people to register with a promo code and get a good deal. But you're really looking for opportunities to really broaden your horizons as experts, so people know and try, love what you do, and they'll be willing to join us on an online course. So the interest form is extension.usu.edu/e-learning, and you'll actually be directed to that at the conclusion of this webinar as well. So no idea is a bad idea, and so we'd love to just know what those things are that you love to teach and are passionate about. And I really feel like that's Extension's secret weapon, is I see our people teaching and up in front of groups, and they just light up and they're dynamic. And so we'd love to take that same energy and produce an online course with you as the expert behind that. So unless there's any questions, I think we're gonna wrap it up today, but you've got my email. I'll type it in here so you have it. And go ahead and fill out that form, and we'd love to start now just brainstorming with you and getting ideas, because we can't produce a course, by Friday. It takes time, as you saw from that timeline. And so it would be great if we could at least start the conversation, even if you're not ready today. We can talk about, when that time will come and work backwards, and we can start designing your PowerPoint and working on that for you. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. Marta, did you have any final words?
Yeah, there were a few people asking about how much time it will take, or how much time it's taken for agents to participate in these live online courses. And So if you didn't see my answer to that, I would highly suggest you reach out to Sheridan Hansen, Helen Muntz, Mike Karen, Melanie Jukes, and Tasha Killian. Tasha's hasn't done hers yet, but it's coming in the next couple of weeks. And ask them about their experience. They know firsthand what it was like. And we are doing things a little differently next year, but I think the time requirement from you will be very similar to what it's been in the past. I also, again, thanks Mike for plugging Facebook Live. I have a few spots in the next couple months through the end of the year. So if you are interested and would be willing to chat with me, we did our first remote Facebook Live. So Dr. Dave was in Logan and I was in Salt Lake, and it worked really well. So if that's something you're interested in, please reach out to me. I would love to talk with you on Facebook Live. And if you have any remaining questions about this online course process, and if we somehow missed your question in the chat box, please email us and ask us your questions. We would love to talk with you more and get your feedback.
Fantastic. Well, thanks, Marta, and thanks, Brian, for all your help today and getting the word out. There's Brian. And thanks again for all of you for attending. And again, we're here as a resource to you, and I look forward to working with you. And can't wait for 2019 and the things it's going to bring. So thanks, everyone. We will see you later. Have a good rest of the week.